Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I cannot wait to check this one out. Now, I have actually not seen it when it aired live during the night of the Winter Olympics, which is actually a good thing because now I get to see it for the first time live on camera where you will see my raw reaction to it. And yeah, this is definitely one of my more anticipated movies in general of 2018. And not only that, but also one of the animated films I have high hopes for, that hopefully it could turn out something amazing, which luckily we do have a good batch of those in 2018, so hopefully this one can probably deliver, but I'm not going to expect too much because, again, this is just a trailer and it's only 90 seconds long from what I see, so let's just hope for the best with what we got, and let's see what Pixar has in store for us. So just got to go ahead and start the trailer in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, he's back.
I thought we were gonna go.
You heard your mother. Trampoline.
Oh, they're gonna continue. Oh!
Superheroes
Oh my God, he's
are
gonna play
illegal.
more.
We want to fight bad guys. It defines who I am.
We're not saying you have. What?
Someone on TV said it.
I was approached by this tycoon.
Oh my God.
Wants to talk about hero stuff.
Help me bring supers back into the sunlight. We need elastic.
Oh my God.
Bye, sweetie.
I'll watch the kids.
It's like legit Saul Goodman's in the movie.
That's not the way you're supposed to do it, Dad. They want us to do it this
I don't
way.
know that way. Why would they change math? Math is math. Math is math. All over Dusseldorf. Duzzles are dozing. Their eyelids so heavy, they're drooping. Closing!
I couldn't have done this if
Oh
you
my
hadn't taken over
God.
so well.
I've got to succeed so she can succeed. So we can succeed.
I get it, Bob. What the? That is freaky.
But I can't keep giving him cookies. How? Nobody and a daddy. What?
Done
Oh
properly,
my
parenting
God.
is a heroic act. Done properly.
Yo! Yo, I cannot wait, man! Oh my God! Yes! 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 Oh my God! I want it! I want it now! Holy crap! That's gonna be awesome! And so, for our first story, what we are going to begin with is going to be, regardless of how you feel about sports, possibly the most exciting thing that ever came out of the Olympics. Now, as I am recording this, the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics is happening right now, and so far, things are going pretty well, including Canada getting a lot of medals. Woohoo! Go Team Canada! Anyways, gotta support my country somehow. But anyways, getting back into the Winter Olympics. Now, there have been recently a couple of animated features that are going to be coming out this year, in which they will go and they decided to air some special little promos during the Winter Olympics. Now, the first one that came out of this, it was right at the beginning of the Winter Olympics. It was actually for Illumination's The Grinch, in which they actually showed us our first ever look of their interpretation of The Grinch, where we only see about 30 seconds of the Grinch, where he's just watching the Olympics, and he somehow daydreams himself as a figure skater. And it, honestly, for me at least, it was really weird to watch, because you gotta consider that this is our legitimate first time ever that we just saw the Grinch. Like, no joke. The thing is that we never got a single teaser trailer, we never got an actual trailer, like, literally nothing. The most that we've gotten before is just a Macy's balloon, but that's pretty much it. Other than that, that was our first official look at the Grinch, and I don't know about you guys, but it was honestly a little bit weird that this is the first time we see it as that, you know what I mean? But recently there was another. In the night of the middle of the Winter Olympics, there was also another one, and what we got, a lot of people say that, oh, it's just a little sneak peek, oh, it's just a little preview, but in actuality, I would call this the first official trailer of it. This is the first full trailer that we got, even though it is just 90 seconds of it. And what I'm talking, of course, is going to be the most anticipated animated feature, possibly the most anticipated one ever, and the most anticipated animated sequel, The Incredibles 2. Yes, after 14 years since the first one was released, we are going back to see the superhero action of Bob Parr and his family. And what we see in the trailer, I'll try to describe the best way that I can, is that in the trailer, we do see that things are immediately going to go and pick things up right where we left off with the first Incredibles. Now, if you guys remember, at the end of the first Incredibles, we see that Dash got second place, I believe, during his marathon, or just a little, like, you know, just a little school competition. And they were very happy with Dash, and then suddenly, a superhero suddenly emerges who he calls himself the Underminer, and that's where we got our John Ratzenberger cameo for that film. And then suddenly they were getting themselves ready to go into action, and that's how the film ended. Now, in the trailer of The Incredibles 2, they showed us that we're immediately picking things off where we're beginning this movie with a big battle with the Underminer. And then, right afterwards, the Incredibles would, the Parr family would go ahead and have a little bit of a discussion about why they can't really do superhero action like they used to before, you know, because back then, or at least during the time of the movie, superheroes are still considered illegal to do. Now, of course, there's going to be plenty more that will go into the movie, but the trailer hasn't shown any of that yet. But then suddenly Frozone decided to come in, and he would tell Helen and Bob that, hey, we're actually going to be doing some superhero work. There's this one guy, he's like a millionaire tycoon, and he wants you guys to do some superhero work again. So this guy is actually played by Bob Odenkirk, and he wants to assign Helen, also known as Elastigirl, to do the superhero work, while Bob is going to be staying at home and taking care of the kids. Like, pretty much we're seeing Bob is now going to be the dad, while Helen is going out to do some superhero work. And that's basically the whole thing that they are promising us, is that we're going to see a lot of Elastigirl superhero action, and Bob being a dad instead of just being Mr. Incredible. And of course, we do see the promise of many lovable characters that came from the first film. Of course, the entire Parr family is back. We see Frozone is back. And of course, right at the end, we also saw the fan favorite Edna Mode returning. So we are going to see many lovable characters and also brand new characters that are going to be coming back. And I'm just going to say right now that my first reaction when I saw the Incredibles 2 trailer is just, oh my god, I want this now. This looks godforsaken amazing in every way. Like this is pretty much showing us that it's going to promise us what we would want in an Incredibles 2 movie, where pretty much the core is going to be included in there. That's going to be guaranteed in the film, where we are going to see a lot of superhero action, and also we are going to see some heartwarming family values. But now the roles are pretty much going to be switched, where instead of Mr. Incredible doing all the superhero action, now Mr. Incredible is just going to be doing all the family stuff. Like, he's just going to be a regular dad instead of just being a superhero, where the mom, Helen, is now going to do all the superhero action. So they didn't show us fully of what's going to happen. In fact, they probably showed a little bit more of Bob being a dad than Helen doing superhero work. But, they are giving us a good little taste of what is to come. And that's pretty much why I feel like in this trailer, it does feel like an official trailer. It works out as a trailer than actually a sneak peek. And of course, this is much more than just a teaser trailer, since technically they already did release the teaser trailer where we see Jack pretty much walking around, showing off his superhero powers, and then just has laser vision and suddenly makes the entire logo. Now, everything in here works, and it definitely is awesome to check out, and it really does work well as a trailer. In fact, Disney is not really well known to create good trailers, but this one right over here, it works perfectly. Like, it manages to sell what it's trying to do. Like, they know exactly what to do in this trailer, and I feel like it just works out beautifully. Like, finally, like, we got a trailer that is worth being excited over. In fact, I'm just gonna say this right now, and I don't know if others feel that way, but personally, I would say that maybe I'm in the minority to say this, but I'm actually more excited for The Incredibles 2, more so than I am for Avengers Infinity War. And that, well, maybe it's more for personal reasons, because I'm not a huge follower of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I would watch some of their movies from time to time, like Thor, or, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I really love those movies. But, yeah, I'm not, like, a major follower of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, just watching movie after movie after movie. In fact, this week, I feel like I might be alone in a scenario where everybody is in love with Black Panther. They're all talking about Black Panther. Meanwhile, I have to do my job as an animation critic, and I'm the only one who has to go and watch the Football Caveman movie. So yeah, like, I'm just standing here in my little corner going, I saw Caveman today. Anybody saw, I saw Caveman. I saw Early Man today. Anybody saw Early Man today? But, yeah, so it's more for personal reasons, but yeah, I would say I am absolutely excited for The Incredibles 2. Now, before I would continue on with this trailer, there are a couple of things that I do want to address regarding The Incredibles 2 that I am a little bit worried after watching the trailer, and maybe just a little bit of criticisms. Number one is actually the factor that I am a little bit nervous that worst case scenario for this film is that the story might copy a lot of elements from the first film. And from what I see right over here is that I feel like they might they might go into the same story that we got before, but they're just going to switch the main characters, where now it's Helen that's going to do the superhero work and Bob is going to take care of the family. Like, I'm honestly worried that they might just copy elements and do the same thing. In fact, you might see a little bit of hints that it could be a little similar of sorts, where, for example, you got, in the first movie, it's Mr. Incredible he's going out to do some superhero work, and he is assigned by this femme fatale called Mirage. Where in here, the roles are pretty much switched, where now it's Helen Parr who has to go and do some superhero work that has been assigned by Saul Goodman. And I know it's Bob Odenkirk, but, I mean, with the way that the character looks and how he sounds, I mean, it pretty much feels like it's Saul Goodman, to be honest. And on top of that, like, it's not really hard to imagine that a Breaking Bad character might end up in a Disney movie. I mean, technically, like, it is confirmed that Walter and Jesse, like Walter White and Jesse Pinkman, are actually in Zootopia. So it's not hard to imagine that Saul Goodman would be in an Incredibles movie. Now, of course, there are plenty of other characters that they have yet to reveal in here that might show a little bit of a different pace and might offer us something a little bit more different than The Incredibles 2, but who knows what could possibly happen. But yeah, that's the one thing that I am a little bit worried about, is if The Incredibles 2 might copy a little bit of what The Incredibles 1 actually did. But then again, I think I might have had the same worries when Finding Dory was announced and when the trailers of Finding Dory was released. I was just worried that it might end up being the same thing as the first movie, but just being, just going out to find Dory instead of finding Nemo. But it actually turned out to be a very strong film and managed to be its own thing. And maybe that's what we could get in this trailer, or that's what we could get in this movie. But another criticism, or that, well, not necessarily a criticism of what I'm worried about for the movie, but more, this is more about the trailer itself. One thing that I am also worried is just that maybe Mr. Incredible might get a little too much of the same spotlight as he did in the first film. Now, one of the biggest critiques that I have heard about the first Incredibles, even though a lot of people even claim that it could be one of the best animated features ever, is that they feel like there's too much focus on just Mr. Incredible more so than the rest of the family. Like the movie was pretty much split 50-50, where Mr. Incredible gets half the movie and the other half is just the rest of the family, with Dash, Violet, Helen, and Jack. And honestly, looking at this trailer, I do feel like there is a little bit more of a focus on Mr. Incredible than actually with Elastigirl, where, yeah, like, we do see some moments with Elastigirl doing some superhero action. In fact, like, even though we didn't get a lot, we did get a good tease of it. Some could even say that we see more of Helen Parr doing superhero action, more so than we actually saw Venom in the Venom trailer. But, yeah, that's honestly one thing that I am a little bit worried about. Now, a lot of people do say, and especially in the advertisings and kind of the synopsis, they do say that it's going to be Helen that's going to take the spotlight of The Incredibles 2. Like, she will be the star of this movie. And if that's going to happen, then that's great. But honestly, I do blame the trailer that I feel like they're putting a focus more on Mr. Incredible in this case. But I'm not saying it's bad. Like, the stuff that they are showing us with Mr. Incredible is actually really good. And also, like, the moments with Elastigirl is great as well. But honestly, I would like to see a good balance where we do see a good spotlight for Helen, but then also we would see moments with Mr. Incredible and stuff like that. So, honestly, if that's the case, if in the first film, like, Mr. Incredible took, like, most of the movie, then, yeah, it would make sense to give Elastigirl most of The Incredibles too. That would actually be cool. But, yeah, overall, I have to say that this trailer is honestly really awesome, and it really did its job very well to not give us too much, to just give us a little taste of what's to come. And I'm sure it made it made everybody super excited for what's to come, what's going to be coming this summer. And honestly, I cannot wait for The Incredibles 2. It just looks amazing. Definitely up there as one of my most anticipated movies of 2018. And if you guys are excited to go and check out The Incredibles 2 as I am, then all you have to do is just wait until June 15th for the movie's release.